In tonight's headlines, lawmakers visit subdivided flats in Sham Shui Po and call on the government to set a timetable to shift residents to transitional homes. The Golden Week holiday sees a 35% increase in mainland visitors as nearly 1 million people came to Hong Kong in the last 5 days. And a survey reveals that more than 60% of young people in the SAR prefer to buy homes in private developments rather than trying to qualify for public housing. Legislators are urging the government to establish a timetable to phase out inadequate subdivided flats and to expedite the resettlement of affected households, as numerous subdivided flat tenants are still suffering from poor living conditions. This resident, living with his family in an 80-square-foot subdivided flat without windows, expressed concern for his mother, who was unwell and unemployed. If we turn on the air conditioning for ventilation, my mother would feel uncomfortable, but without turning it on, I struggle to breathe, he explained. Lawmaker Lam Chun Seng, who is also the chairman of the Federation of Hong Kong and Kowloon labor unions, stated that unsuitable subdivided flats, particularly those in industrial buildings with poor fire safety standards and no windows, should be prioritized for removal. He called on the government to set a clear timetable so people know this issue could be solved. Meanwhile, this resident complained about the location of transitional housing, saying that he had once visited a show flat, only to find it in a remote location that was difficult even for drivers to reach. The staff there even advised him against moving in due to a lack of nearby amenities, including places to buy food at night. Social welfare legislator Tik Chi Yun questioned whether the Housing Authority had any vacant units available for temporary accommodation. He argued that the authority was not effectively utilizing resources. While the government aims to relocate residents from poor quality flats, it must also enhance the efficiency of moving them into new homes, he said. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Almost 1 million mainland visitors had set foot in the city in the first 5 days of the National Day Golden Week holiday, an increase of 35% over the same period last year. The Immigration Department projected that inbound traffic from the mainland could get as high as 1.2 million for the whole 7-day period. Taking to the airwaves this morning, Director of Immigration Benson Kwok said the number of inbound visitors from the mainland has reached 980,000 as of the 5th day of the Golden Week holiday. He further elaborated by citing mainland visitors' flow on October 1st alone, saying that more than 221,000 mainlanders entered the city, compared to only 177,000 on the same day last year. Kwok estimated that throughout the whole 7-day Golden Week break, the number could be totaling between 1.15 to 1.2 million, adding that all border control points had been operating smoothly, with Lo Wu, Lok Ma Chau, and Shenzhen Bay ports being busier. Meanwhile, Kwok revealed that the department had denied around 23,000 people from entering the city in the first 9 months of this year, accounting for 0.07% of all visitors, among which 85% were denied upon suspected purpose of visit. He added that the department had launched the Advanced Passenger Information System in September, refusing unwelcome arrivals to board on flights to Hong Kong by notifying them overseas through airlines. However, Hong Kong residents, including those living abroad for many years with invalid identity cards, would not be affected, Kwok said. Evelyn Bai, Cable News. A survey unveiled that more than 60% of young people in Hong Kong prefer to buy private housing rather than lying flat to qualify for public housing, according to the Federation of Public Housing Estates. The Federation interviewed 367 youngsters aged 18 to 40 through online questionnaires last month, with 90% of respondents hoping for personal space. Over 60% of respondents indicated that they would prioritize purchasing private apartments or units under the home ownership scheme. Additionally, 59.1% of youth stated that they would not lie flat, meaning that they would not refuse to strive for promotions or salary increments just to meet the criteria for public housing applications. However, 84.2% of the respondents thought the private property prices are out of line with affordability, while 61% consider that the opportunities to buy subsidized houses are insufficient. The Federation proposed to implement a first-time home buyer savings scheme and provide interest-free loans to help young people acquire private housing units. They also called for an increase in the quota for single applicants for subsidized housing projects. Executive Director of the Federation, Anthony Chiu, said, "It cannot be ruled out that young people are considering to use public housing as a stepping stone to buy subsidized properties through the Green Form Subsidized Home Ownership Scheme later on." He hoped that the authorities could increase the availability for subsidized housing so that young people do not need to go meandering. Evelyn Bai, Cable News. Financial Secretary Paul Chan said the overall atmosphere in the city's stock market had seen significant improvement heading into the fourth quarter, with several boosters leading investors to be cautiously optimistic about the market outlook. Writing on his weekly blog, the finance minister said the Hang Seng Index had accumulated a remarkable 33% rise over the past 15 trading days, reaching a 2.5-year high. And the average daily turnover since September has doubled compared to August. He attributed this surge to a package of measures to boost the economy from the mainland and the beginning of the U.S. interest rate cut cycle, prompting buying demands from fund portfolios. Moreover, given the attractive valuation of the Hong Kong and the mainland stocks markets, investors are cautiously optimistic about the market's outlook, which may in turn drive more companies, including dozens of technology startups, to speed up their listing process in the city, as well as attract more enterprises to come set up their business in Hong Kong, Chen added. The finance chief revealed that the Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises is set to announce a new batch of strategic enterprises next month, with over half coming from big data and artificial intelligence, and some of them being industry leaders. He expressed confidence that a vibrant capital market will attract more high-quality enterprises to establish a presence in Hong Kong. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
An array of classic cars hit the streets this morning in a spectacular parade to mark the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the People's Republic of China. The procession, comprising 75 classic and antique cars, including a retro Hongqi, started from Central and cruised through Tsim Sha Tsui and West Kowloon, with the journey concluded at Disneyland. Speaking at the event, Transport Secretary Lam Sai-hong described the classic cars as treasures akin to the nation's remarkable journey over the past 75 years in transforming into the world's second-largest economy. On the other hand, the chosen route showcased many of Hong Kong's iconic landmarks, which could be seen as the narrative of the city's unique stories. Meanwhile, Lam also emphasized the success of the northbound travel for Hong Kong vehicles scheme, shown by a historic high of 400,000 crossings via the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge in August, with Hong Kong vehicles accounting for about 40%. He praised the close cooperation between Hong Kong and Zhuhai in enhancing the travel experience for residents.
President Xi Jinping exchanged congratulatory messages with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to mark the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the neighboring countries. Over 3/4 of a century, Both nations have supported each other in consolidating their respective political systems and safeguarding national sovereignty. She said China and North Korea had worked closely to promote regional peace and stability and uphold international fairness and justice. The traditional friendship has been tested by changing times and international situations, becoming a shared valuable asset for both countries and their people, she added.
Loud explosions could be heard across Lebanon's capital Beirut this morning as Israel intensified its bombardment on targets allegedly occupied by Iran-backed militia group Hezbollah. Large areas of southern Beirut have been completely destroyed, with fires still burning in many buildings. Access to the affected areas is hampered by damaged roads. As Israel continues its war on Hezbollah, more than 1 million people have fled the city and gone to other parts of the country. Meanwhile, during its ground operation in southern Lebanon, the Israeli military released footage of the inside of a tunnel used by Hezbollah to store weapons and as a hideout for its fighters. Items recovered from the 250-meter-long underground passage indicated that Hezbollah fighters were getting ready for an attack on Israeli troops. Thousands of supporters of Donald Trump gathered for a rally in the town of Butler, Pennsylvania, where a gunman tried to assassinate the former U.S. president in July.
Exactly 12 weeks ago this evening on this very ground, a cold-blooded assassin aimed to silence me and to silence the greatest movement, MAGA, in the history of our country. Our movement to make America great again stands stronger, prouder, more united, more determined, and nearer to victory than before. We're going to make America great again. Going to win the election. Going to win the election.
The campaign rally before November's election had another flamboyant guest. Billionaire tech executive Elon Musk, who has endorsed Trump lately, made it official by attending the event in Pennsylvania.
You know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot. Fight, fight, fight! Blood coming down the face.
Trump has said he would tap Musk to lead a government efficiency commission if he regains the White House.